Welcome back to Still Talking Uncut. I'm your host, Big Easy. Sean fucked up the show because he popped in for a second. So we're just going to pick up where we left off. My bad. Totally Sean's fault. Motherfucker don't show up, shows up for the first time. That's a nice looking koozie. Where do you get that at?
Sean gave it to me.
No shit.
Didn't he give it? You didn't get one?
No.
Better hit him up.
I'm good. I won't use it. You got your White Claws in there?
Yep.
Nice.
Pudding shots.
Pudding shots.
Pudding shots. So anyways, back to what we was talking about. He's talking about the building and everything you got going on. You ain't allowed here, Sean.
The hold up, the paperwork.
So the holdups, the paperwork. I messed it up the first time by not submitting it paper wise because I thought it would be the other ones. The federal wise, you just hit submit, it goes right in. I sent an email, and I didn't know you didn't send an email.
The state of Ohio don't give a shit.
No.
Yeah.
The state of Ohio wants it. They want it. You know what I'm saying?
I asked them if I could just drive it up to them and deliver it to them.
Well, I remember listening to you boys on the American Whiskey podcast. Was it Fred or Chris? Was like, you just got to keep calling them, bro. You just got to keep calling. You got to make them get tired of hearing your voice on the phone every Monday, every Wednesday, whatever day you have to call. Make them be like, man, get this motherfucker open so he will leave us alone. You know what I mean? And it sucks that it probably has to come to that, but other than you camping out at their front door.
Yeah, but that won't do you any good because you're not allowed in the facility, they told me. So I finally did get some news back, on the, and I think I said it was on the 16th or 17th, but I looked over here a few minutes ago. It was on the 11th, is when they actually accepted my application finally. 11th of last month. So they had till the 11th of this month to contact me. An agent contact me. And other than the agents that I've called, I've never heard of anything back from them. But, I called them. They said, well, the 26th, we sent out all your paperwork to the entities around that could object, and then you'll have to go from there. You got 30 days from there, and then if they don't let someone know, then, you're good. But I haven't heard anything back yet.
That's how it goes, right? So
I was supposed
you got to call.
You got to call, man.
You got to call.
30 days from the 11th, I was supposed to hear something, and here we are. I don't even know what today is. What, the 21st?
Yeah.
So, 5 more days, and that should be the cutoff date for any entities that want to say no. And I had a meeting with the mayor down here the other day, and he said, we've still never received anything.
Ooh, nice.
But they sent it out on the 26th of last month.
Right. So they're seeing if anybody around you has an issue with you opening a distillery there.
Yeah, so if there's a church around you, the church is supposed to be within 500 feet. Which, there's an old church building right next door.
The town ain't that big.
Right.
The town wants it. They're ready.
Yeah,
they're ready for it right now.
It's money.
It sounds like you've almost got the same situation like Chris Lewis had down in Bainbridge, except Bainbridge was dry. Your town wasn't dry, was it?
No. So this used to be a bar, the old Blue Tartan.
Yeah.
That was 70s, 80s, maybe early 90s as well. And then there's a bar up the road, Wayne's. I wouldn't go to that bar, but there's a bar up the road, Wayne's. And then there's, beer at Speedway, and Family Dollar is supposed to start getting beer soon.
But it sounds like you've got a good relationship with the town and the people in the area to where they're welcoming you. They want you there. They want you to open. They want Firehouse Shine to exist
Yeah.
in their town. They want it to happen.
I would
So,
imagine being a firefighter there for whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you definitely know some people.
right.
So our assistant, or no, not assistant. So the village administrator, he's basically right under the mayor. He's my assistant fire chief. So I mean, they come down. We've hosted stuff here where I've opened up the doors for like Halloween trick or treat.
Yeah.
We've letting people come in and see the distillery. A lot of people come in and they're like, "Oh, well, we used to sit right over there." And then we've had days where we've opened when I've been running. People can't, buy anything other than my shirts and stuff like that. And I actually sold a master distiller T-shirt. I think I'm down to none of those now because I changed the logo. Yeah, I've done that stuff where people stop by and checked it out. The mayor's been down here once. We hosted the my fire station down here, and we done a fire safety. Actually, we got pre-plans for the whole building. So we got our station, Pomeroy, and Rutland that all respond with us to a structure fire. So you can, when you get in the truck, you can pull up a tablet and hit pre-plans. It shows you right now about the people that still are upstairs. It tells you every hydrant to hit around the area. Tells you your accesses, where all your utilities, all that stuff is. And then we lit some shine on fire in here, and let them see about using a thermal camera, about seeing it. So we've done a lot here with it. It's just
Nice.
getting the doors open to be able to sell something.
I'm sure it's going to be grand opening is going to be awesome, dude. You're going to have a very big welcoming from the area. I'm sure the Shiner community, your friends, family, everybody. I know I look forward to it. So I hope soon you get that letter in the mail and you can come on here on the book and announce it. And man, it's going to be a big one, man. You know that for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna have a party, but find somewhere to stay because
You don't want the
nah, I'm good.
place up Pomeroy.
I'm good. I'm good.
Man, listen,
Bring a tent.
I'll be
Bring a
honest.
tent.
Listening to Sturge and Dylan and you talk about that one night on that episode, y'all had me in tears, man.
Hey, I
That
didn't even
shit-
make it there, dude. Just from what they said, I knew like, nah, I'm good.
It
Yeah.
used to be a really, really good bed and breakfast.
Yeah. I used to be
Um,
150 pounds too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think Uncle Joey used to be with American Whiskey too.
At
In
one time,
elementary
yep, at
school.
one time.
You know, like,
Wait a
lot of
minute.
Eustace,
Wait a
man.
minute. It looks like you still are.
He's the that's M. That's M. Yeah, it's going to be a great time, man. Like we're definitely going to for sure. We'll make it happen. And Gallipolis is just 20 minutes south, or
You got Athens and Gallipolis.
hey, look, you say how you want down there in Middle Pope, and we'll say how we want here in Dayton. All right.
So you're probably talking up there by Logan. What is that? Is that Lancaster or Lancaster?
Lancaster.
It's Lancaster.
Lancaster. I'll
Hey,
probably make that a
We can
reason
oil
for-
and Earl all day long. You know what I'm saying? So-
Yeah. I know I've got a daughter within an hour drive, so we'll probably make a reason to see her and you all on the same trip once you get opened up, man. It's going to be a good time for sure, John.
I'm hoping for the opening. I got a buddy that his girlfriend's got a food truck, so we'll put that out back here. I think Car Wash is going to let us post it right there at the side of their building. And then I've got maybe Nathan, or actually he goes by Matt, but Matt Matheny to sing. I've got I think Brady that's going to sing, and then I'm going to let Sturge basically headline it.
Oh yeah.
So,
Nice.
'cause that's, ultimately that's what we're trying to do. Is it's not just about Firehouse Shine and about what we can offer just for us to make money. It's also about trying to get stuff out for the community, and then stuff out for, our brothers.
Man, just what you do every time I open
Yeah.
Facebook around one of the big holidays, I see you doing something.
Always,
know
always helping out.
Moving forward, I'm sure you and Firehouse Shine are going to be a big part of your community, John, and I think that's amazing. You're an awesome individual, man. You have a huge heart. Just the short time that I've known you, there's numerous events and numerous things that I've known that you have done personally or helped with or been a part of. You're an awesome dude, man. You really are. You might be a piece of shit, but you're a good ass dude, man. So,
well, it happens.
There's only one piece of shit. All right.
My bad. I don't want to take that crown away from Sean.
Yeah, Bentz is all right, man. I like Bentz. So.
But no, Bentz, you're an awesome dude, brother. You really are, man. You're all about giving and helping, and not everybody's willing to do that.
I mean, ain't that the way it should be, though? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like especially if you could give back to your community, and in ways that you didn't think was possible, but now you can. Why not? You know what I'm saying? And it's you see it a lot in this community. We're all willing to give and help and do what we got to do, and I wish I was at Bentz's right now. That would pour me an old fashioned.
Yeah.
When we went to the show, a lot of these guys that win the show, for one, they're not getting their prizes like they should be. Yeah. So I mean, you got that to look at. For me, it was about the people really that we met, and not just at the show. I met a lot of good people at the show, a lot of cast, a lot of crew members. Coming out of it, I met, Big Easy, still talking. But then I met Still Talking. I met American Whiskey. We've gained a lot of brothers along the way. Some of us probably don't talk all the time, but at the point in time, that's what that show was who you met. And then for me, you got these guys, and I won't go into mentioning who they are or what they do, but you got these guys that's blowing everything up, and I'm glad they're doing good for themselves. But look and see what charities they're doing and what good they're bringing out of it. The show for me, even though I got second, the show for me was what I could do with it afterwards.
You'll always be number one with us, though, John, just so you know.
Hey, number 2 on TV, number 1 in my heart, baby.
Number 1 in our hearts,
That's
John,
right.
brother, for real, man. And we fuck with you, but it's for real, man. You are a fucking awesome, genuine dude, man.
Yep.
Well, that, and to go back to like, hey, man, you might not talk for a month or a few weeks or 6 months, but it doesn't matter, because at any time, if you was like, hey, man, I'm in a bind, I need this. Motherfucker would be in the car on the way to do whatever he can to help you out without questions asked. And that's the way it should
absolutely.
be,
That's, back when the steel came in and we had that thing, originally it was supposed to be up there at Easy's. Mm-hmm. And I told Sturge, I said, well, I'll make the drive. And I was like, well, what is it to camp up there? Is it going to be warm enough? Because if I come, I'm probably going to have enough that I ain't going anywhere.
Let's be real. This day last year, I wasn't in a no door shirt and shorts sweating. It was cold out there. Like we went up there, It was cold. Like it was rainy. It was chilly. Like you never know what you're going to get here. Like it's 70 this year. Hell, it could be snowing next year. Hell, it could be snowing next week. You know what I'm saying? You
don't
never
say that
know.
shit.
So,
don't say
so
that.
When they was like, hey man, let's think about having it at Bentz's. He's getting this new still. I'm like, fucking indoors, sweet.
That was my thing, indoors, and of course we had, I don't know, what do we have? 2 cases of fucking hamburger patties.
Yeah, I mean,
quarter pounders from McDonald's.
The mac and cheese was legit. So all I know is the mac and cheese was legit, and
that was Jason Davis there.
And hey, Jason, man, go ahead and bring me a little bit of that mac and cheese and pour in the bottle, baby. Or you know what? Come on up for my birthday party in October. bring some mac and cheese.
We'll put
Hey,
it on
what's
the table.
funny? Hey, Easy. What's funny is I think we've actually had a conversation about farm to bottle and that mac and cheese just a while back with Jason. So you've already got something coming, I do
I
believe.
already know. All right, my man. So my man.
I just
Find me a
tell him I'm not
recipe.
coming if I don't get mac and cheese. So.
But
Right.
yeah, I ain't coming. So
But of course, between him and Gail, I guess it was really Gail, but I started talking about Hootapole. I don't know if you guys know what that is. You guys are up that way, should be.
Cincinnati's finest.
I was like, yeah, I'd really like some
Man.
Hootapole. Well, next thing you know, here comes Gail walking in with me a 6-pack of it. So yeah, she took care of me up there. So.
Oh yeah,
I'll tell
the
you, man.
Davises are awesome.
Hey, one thing I learned about farm to bottle is the people behind the scenes are going to work their ass to death.
Oh yeah,
they're going to work their ass to death, and you know what I'm saying. And then at the end of the day, they're going to be the nicest people you ever met, no matter how hard they worked. And so, I'm always down. Like, hey man, you need a hand. I see you working. You need a hand. How can I help you? How can I help you? So, we appreciate them and everything they do. So, and I look forward to that event every year. It's getting bigger. It's going to be even better this year. So,
I'm hoping. Go ahead.
No. I'm thinking about on my end, like in order for me to enjoy it. See, farm to bottle is a good time, but like you said, it's a marathon, and
so you don't wind up hanging out the car window puking. You gotta pace yourself. You know what I'm saying?
But anyway, I think I might be the type of individual. I should probably talk with Jason Davis and maybe volunteer some of my time. So I got to stay sober for like at least 4 hours of farm to bottle.
We all know that ain't happening.
So you want to go down and run the kids' corner?
What's that, John?
You want to go down and run the kids' corner? Is that
That's
what
right.
it is?
I mean, something, man. Keep me away from it because
He's not allowed.
So keep Uncle Joey away from me because I'm like, hey man, which circle do you want to hit? Look, which one? Which one?
They actually added me to the board this year for it because
that's good.
When it first started, they wasn't going to do any moonshiners. And I'm not saying they were singling us out because I just seen a post on Facebook and I got a hold of Dan and I was like, hey, what about some of the moonshine community?
Yeah.
So
we're a draw. I mean, it's a draw.
Yeah,
and
it
love moonshine.
It just went on from there.
You made that first jump and everybody followed.
Yeah.
So it just went on from there. And I mean, it's an excellent show.
And we were itching. Like we were itching in this area for somewhere within an hour to make our own. You know what I'm saying? Like we can go to Beattyville. Speaking of which, Beattyville's been postponed. Beattyville will not be happening on June 14th due to the flooding and I believe health issues with Donnie and I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know with all the flooding and everything they've had to deal with, they have postponed Beattyville, so Beattyville will not be happening June 14th. I think they're going to try to reschedule it maybe closer because they have the Woolly Worm Festival in October down there.
Oh, nice.
I believe it's mid-October, right around my birthday. They have it down there every year. They have the Woolly Worm Festival. So I don't know if they're going to combine them and do them together. I'm not 100% sure. I just wanted to let you know that Beattyville's been postponed. It will not be in mid-June this year. So, with that being said, we go to Maggie Valley. People go to Popcorn. We go to Beattyville. We wanted something to call our own, something within a couple hours that we can go. We can have a great time. And it's like, oh, come up to our state. And like people come in, we're like, oh yeah, it's legal, man. There's a dispensary 10 minutes down the road. They're on it. People love experiencing new things. It's why you go to places, why you go on vacation. Like, I don't get to see no mountains. I got to go down to Gatlinburg, Maggie Valley. It's all different. It's beautiful. It's scenery. And so, it's one of those things that we were able to call our own. And I think we've done a great job of being like, hey, come to this. You're going to have a good time. Mm-hmm. We're going to have a great time. And I haven't heard anybody be like, dude, it sucked. I didn't like going there. I'll never go again. Well, at least not after the first year. People that paid a bunch of money who were visitors, they were a little disappointed year one. Year two, you didn't have those rumblings, which was awesome to see that big a turnaround after 1 year. But, like all the moonshiners, like, dude, if you're coming, you're going to have a good time. You know, you're going to have a good time unless, you know, you get really hammered on wine and you puke on yourself. Then you're not going to remember much of it. You're not going to have a really good time.
Man, I tell you, farm to bottle is such a dual experience.
Right.
I mean, it's really you get so much from it, man.
I love
You
Uncle
pay your money, you go inside the buildings, and you do everything you can inside those buildings, and you listen to the music. But then if you're just strolling through the parking lot, somebody you might have been doing a sampling with earlier in the day might be cooking something on the grill. You walk
Yeah.
by, hey man, you want something to eat? I met so many people earlier in the day that I'd had later conversations with, hung around their campsites, their campers. I mean, you
Yeah.
meet so many awesome people, man. And we went back, you know, this past year. I pull in the parking lot and I'm walking across and I hear, you know, 3 or 4 times, Uncle Joey. And I don't even know who these people are, but I remember from last year. Oh shit, hell yeah, what's up, man? So, farm to bottle has so much potential of being just a. I think this year is going to really kind of set the tone from here on out. It's going to be a really good festival, man. Shout out Dan Gray, by the way. You do a
for
great
sure.
job of
Jason, you know, all of them.
Yeah, there's been a lot of changes this year. I guess you know, it's gonna be more structured. That way,
I mean,
things ain't just thrown in.
Right.
Right.
You know, we had some contests last year that didn't get done. I think I tied with Big Easy on the state
Right.
contest. He kind of picked me up, shook me, and he guessed that I was full of shit. So we tied.
I tell you, by Sunday morning, he was probably still around 75 proof.
But yeah, there's more structure this year. We've got a board. You know,
if you was there the
Jason's
first year, like if you was there the first year, you understand how the massive changes into being a successful, you know, event. So,
and a lot of people, and I'm not taking anything away from him, but a lot of people say Dan Gray. It's huge with, I mean, just the whole staff that they've got there.
Yeah.
It's a
without
group
everybody
out
else.
of Wilmington, I do believe. It's like a biker club, biker group, whatever it is. I think out of Wilmington or something like that. Those guys are awesome, man. They really help him in a lot of his events.
Well, I mean, I'm talking, and shit, I don't remember all their names, but I know RJ.
Brittany, Jason, you know, just
there's just so many
people. Yeah,
drinks, like that lady poured 4 million drinks. How she didn't drink half of them, I don't know, but she poured 4 million drinks.
Sign me up to pour the drinks.
Oh yeah, the girl that Dan had that was in charge of all that, she did a great job, man.
Hey, do you go just like, oh, it's $0.25 a shot or $1 a shot or something? Dude, it was something insane. And it's like, oh, I can try this $400 bourbon I'll never try for $3.
Yeah, me and Bean did. That's for damn sure.
Was that the Japanese blends?
Yep.
They had some Russell's Reserve in there. They had all kinds of stuff in there, man.
So, you know, I know JJ's supposed to be a lot more involved this year with MASH classes and things like that. And if you don't know who JJ is, man, he's one of the smartest individuals you'll ever talk to. I don't like talking to him because it makes me feel like I don't know what I'm talking about.
Smartest man with the smallest shorts.
He throws a lot of science around.
Yeah, I love JJ, man. He's
got a lot of knowledge with it.
Yeah, he's awesome for sure.
I'm hoping, you know, as long as the state gets off their ass, that we'll actually be able to serve up there this year.
Man, that'd
be awesome.
And, you know, have samples at least and try to get, you know, some knowledge down here because
have samples.
We don't have, you know, down here, it's a half hour to Athens for a distillery and then 45 minutes. I think, 45 minutes to Ripley. And then an hour and a half almost to Hatfields.
So there ain't nothing in Gallipolis, is there?
No. You got some wineries, but that's it.
Yeah, I thought
so. Ripley, you got Doug's place, right?
Well, that's 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that's ways away. That's all the way down on. That's down there by Portsmouth area.
That's 2.5 hours the other way. Now we got Ripley, West Virginia, which is Appalachian Distillery. Not to say anything real horrible. I just don't really care much for their stuff. They run more of a column steel. They're calling it a hybrid. I'm a pot still guy.
Yeah, me too. Like,
I want
a lot of Shriners are pot still guys.
I want flavor.
Man. I don't need jars. I don't need columns. I just need a pot still, man.
I mean, you guys have seen the steel in here. Tracy did an excellent job with it.
Man.
I got a 15 just like it, and I got a 1.5 just like it. We went down a 10th in size, everyone. And I've also got a brandy arm for each one of them. So you don't need that stuff.
You got a 15?
Yeah, I got a 15 also.
Nice.
Yeah, and we went with the 150, the 15, and then the 1.5. And the 1.5 was built by Case, which is the 10-year-old. That is Chris. It's Tracy's employees or partners or whatever, his son.
Take you about an hour to run that little feller, don't it?
What, the 1.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time I ran it, playing around that small, I really screwed up, and I think I ran it in like 20 minutes. And
you get heated up so fast. Hey, I did, dude. Like when you go, like I went to a 5, and I was just messing around, and dude, I was blowing steam in like 8 minutes, and I'm like, holy shit, I got steam already, and it's just different. You know what I'm saying? Like, going up, it's different than coming back down, like because you're just used to being like, I'm gonna crank this. Like,
I tell everybody, if you can run a 5-gallon still and you can make your cuts and get a good jar of liquor out of it, you can run 150, you can run 200, you can run a 300.
Yeah,
if you can run a small still and perfect it and get your cuts out of it, you can run a big still.
That's what I'm excited, because I got that little 3-gallon off of Phil and Easy, and I've been doing a little playing around with it, and I feel like I've fucked up enough that I've learned. You know what I mean? Like, I've wasted a half a jar of good liquor because I left too much heads in it, and I shouldn't have. I mean, you learn. I've definitely learned along the way.
Yep. When you jump up to something like what I've got here, I'll load that at about 4 o'clock in the morning. And then I'll kick it on, and then I come in here, and that big screen behind me, that's just my big projector I got in here. And I kick back here, and I set a alarm for 3 hours later. I mean, it'll take it 3 hours to even start heating up.
So do you heat up full bore, or are you a slow heat up feller, or you buy?
I'll do 2 elements full board, and then I'll do 2 elements at half.
And then once you get to temp, do you kick 2 elements off and then just run off at 2?
I kick 2 off, and what I've been doing here lately is I'll leave the top element on, and it goes down to about a quarter of the way, and then I'll leave the bottom on, and it goes down a quarter away. That way, it's an even heat.
Now, do you when you run your elements, are you running the 2 closest together, or are you running one here,
the 2 farthest,
the 2 farthest,
the bottom and the top one?
Nice.
That way, it's more of an even heat.
Yes, yeah.
When I first started it,
radiating.
Yeah, when I first started it, I went to 1 element, and I left it up about 3/4, in between half and 3/4. And then after I got running it, and I thought it ended up being a little more efficient, going the top and the bottom, and going about a quarter of a way.
Nice.
And still running both.
You get good, consistent, probably heat that way.
Yeah.
Bottom.
Yeah. If you're doing the middle, you're doing the bottom, because I imagine your top one's about middle-ish, and your bottom one's in the bottom quarter. So it helps to heat all that. Are you running any type of agitator on your still, or are you just filtering real nice and then just?
So I filter decently. When I say filter, I don't really filter. I rack.
Yeah.
So I'll hit one. I got that wine press out there, and I'll press all the grains and get as much out as possible. When you're doing a little batch, if you do that, you might get an extra gallon.
Right.
When you're doing it on 150 batch, you're getting about an extra 15 gallons of liquid.
It's money. That's money out of your pocket. So
hold on real quick. I want to interrupt real quick. So I know there's certain guys that don't like the squeezins. What's the why don't some guys like to press it and get all that out of there? What is
They claim they're getting a yeast cake.
okay? I just
Yeah.
was
Well,
curious.
you would if you squeezed it and went right, pumped into the still.
Correct.
But now I'm squeezing it and I'm pumping it back, or not pumping it, I'm pouring it by bucket because we got to do everything the hard way.
That and if you remember, Uncle Joey, from the very beginning, I talk about secondaries.
Yes,
I take
you
my
do.
mash, I put it in another barrel, and I let it sit. Well, that's what he
Yep.
does with his squeezins.
Okay,
He squeezes
right.
all that liquid out of the fruit,
Then
grain. He
lets it
squeezes
clear out.
everything out
So
of it.
then
and
it
he
will
lets
settle
And then
down
it
itself.
settles down.
Yeah, and then you just pump right off top, and what's remainder, you want to save that yeast. Get you a jar of it.
Yeah,
Put it in the
you can
fridge.
actually, if you're doing a whole nother corn mash, if that yeast is still live, you can go ahead and use it as a live yeast. Or if that yeast is dead and it ain't gonna do nothing else, that right there is a hell of a nutrient because
Yep.
it's a dead yeast.
Oh,
So
zombie yeast.
either way, keep a jar either way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
So I mean,
you can reuse all of it. You can reuse none of it. You can reuse a little of it. It's just you can do whatever you want. Dealer's choice. A
same
lot of
with the sour mash, and a lot of guys want sour mash, but I mean, I'm gonna end up filing for a sour mash because if you don't, you're just wasting corn.
it's money. That's money.
It's money.
Yeah.
From what
just
I'm gathering, yeah, I mean,
That's a valid
and I have a
point.
question. So I know everybody's probably got a different opinion, but you hear generations of sour mash. Is there a limit on generations?
your limit is the
My
limit.
favorite
That's what I
is
was curious
coming out.
about.
My favorite has come out on the 4th. That's my favorite. I mean, each generation you're going to get a little bit different flavor, but my favorite has come out on the 4th generation.
Now, what do you think you get on that fourth that brings that extra element? Is it a sour? Is it an extra sour that carries over when it distills is it a mouthfeel? Is it a flavor? I mean,
To
what
me,
do you,
it's a little of both. I mean, you get a different mouthfeel to it. Each time you sour mash, if you're doing it with sugar, of course, you're still going to keep that burn there, but you're going to have more of a relaxed. I tend to put more of my back set in than a lot of people do. A lot of people say only 10%. I like to be up about the 40% area.
Really, see, I've always been a 50% feller. Like I'm a half. I'm a half. Like
Yeah, and you
I
got to
could
watch.
mash
With you at the 40, you got to watch that pH. So with you at the 50, you damn sure got
Oh
to.
hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
You always I had a buddy. He's like, I've never had a crash. I'm like, you ever done sour mash? No, do a sour mash. He did sour
yeah.
mash.
You're gonna have it.
It stalled. It crashed, and it's just like the oyster shell trick that people use is really good for sour mash. You don't have to monitor it. You don't have to put a lot of shit into it.
baking soda?
Oyster shell
You can
in a
use
brew
baking soda
bag.
about 5 or 6 boxes will get you right. They do make things like pH 5.2 that you just put in, and 5 or 6 boxes won't work.
Yeah, but that
A
oyster
little bit
shell corrected on its own. So,
just crush it up and throw them
Yeah.
in. If you're
and
wondering
you
where
can
to
go
get
to your
oyster
ag
shells,
place and get it.
or
You get 'em at
for some of
Walmart.
us, you can order Amazon. We all order from Amazon, so
I've seen them at Walmart.
So yeah, so right now actually in the mash room. So my mash room is an old and Easy seen it, but it's an old box cooler.
It's got the big old
So
sliding door.
Oh, nice. Like
yeah,
an old
it's got
ice
an old
cooler?
big old brass hinges on it.
Yeah, it's badass.
Really,
It's
really
it's one of the
insulated.
features. When you go there, you're like, oh, that's cool as shit. And, it's
Right now I've got a heater in there because I had one mash that's been struggling. I got 2 barrels sitting side by side, and the one barrel finished perfect. The other barrel's been about 2 extra weeks so far, and it ain't nowhere near finished. And it's the same amount of sugar, the same amount of corn, same amount of water, same yeast, same nutrient, everything. So, somebody asked me, did you check your pH? Well, hell no, because it's the same thing I've always done. And it's
Same
the
as the other
same
one.
mash and everything. So I guess I'm just having one being difficult, but it'll be done.
no two are the same. It's like It's just like you start 2 barrels at the same time, they're not gonna be done at the same time.
Yep.
And it ain't gonna happen, man. It just ain't what it is. Like, and people are like, "Oh, I'm good. 3 or 4 days, I'm done. I'm gonna run." Dude, you can't put a time frame on that.
Nope.
You just gotta let it. It's a natural process that you gotta let do what it's gonna do. So,
See, I'm about to head out of town for a little family vacay, and I want to start a mash before I leave. That's when I texted you the other day about the frozen corn mash. I got that little still, and I want to experiment a little bit. I want to try some yeast experiments. So that's what I'm gonna do. I think before I leave town, I want to start a couple mashes, head out of town, so when I come back, they're ready.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been getting some yeast through Tracy at Ace Custom Copper, and it's supposedly the same yeast that a lot of major distilleries use.
Nice.
So it's about a 3 to 4 day ferment on it. And I've been using it. It's done really, really good. There's a lot of big names that use it.
a lot of people use that just Red Star Active.
That's
Distillers.
if I'm gonna ferment and it's cooler, I'm gonna go straight instead of Red Star. I'm gonna go straight to bread yeast if it's gonna be cooler.
That's my next question. Are you a bread yeast guy, John?
It depends on what I'm running it. You know, a lot of my fruits, a lot of guys are going to use champagne yeast and everything.
Well, you see 1118, some use that
1118
71B, that BM 4x4.
I know I've asked Easy about that too, because
I
asked him if it
prefer all
really
my
makes a
fruits.
difference.
Fruits, I prefer my bread yeast.
I'm dumping bread yeast on my fruits. I'm dumping bread yeast on everything. I'm going to up doing a rum, and I'm going to use fucking bread yeast on that shit. And I'll be like, yeah, try this with bread yeast. Like I can't help myself. You know, I got to try it on everything. So
the rums, I've noticed different yeast I've used has really changed them.
Yeah.
Brings out the different esters in it and everything, and it's really changed them. I'm not a big yeast guy. I use Tracy's yeast, and I use the nutrients he gets in, and then bread yeast. That's all I use. For a while, I used Red Star, and I'd use Energizer and all that.
Are you using Fleischmann's? Is that what you get out there? Fleischmann's?
Yeah, Flashman's.
You see, I get that. I use the SAF.
Okay.
You know, and there's a difference. Like, so when you smell them, you can smell the difference in the 2 different bread yeast. Like to me, the Fleischmann's is a lot more like you're standing in a bakery, you know, and the SAF is like, it doesn't have a whole lot of potency to it.
Well, what a lot of people don't realize, you know, it really depends on your area. If you're in an area where bourbon's made a lot of those are going to use, you know, those more higher end yeast. Mm-hmm. If you're in Middleport, Ohio, or if you're in Pomeroy, you know, if you're in an area that has been known for, you know, being a little more, I guess, not uppity and not, you know, rich, whatever.
A little more backwoods.
Use that. That's what they're used to.
A little more backward. Yeah, like you go down in the hills, you can hand somebody a jar with liquor not made from bread yeast, and they're funked out by it because they're like, it doesn't taste right. You know, like they're so used to bread yeast because it's so abundant. Available. People keep it forever.
Look at what's available in your area.
You know, people keep bread yeast.
Look, Mama's making bread. Daddy's stealing the yeast to make his liquor. So yeah,
that's right. Mama's making more yeast. She's making more. You know, like she's making more. Like I saw a thing where like, oh, take a cup of flour and some sugar, whatever, cook it down, let it sit. Boom, you got a bread starter. And you know, and yeast is easy. Yeast is everywhere. It's on me. It's on you. It's on everything.
Yeah, all your plants, your fruits. I mean, if you can get some of them apples that come in that they look white and you think they're a little rotten, or
no, that's just yeast.
No, that's all your. I mean, all those blueberries I went and got.
Right.
Everybody's like, "Oh man, they look moldy," and I was like, "No, that's wild yeast, guys."
They'll be all right. You know, you could take those, set them off to the side, do all your mashing in, and once it's down to temp, you could throw them in and let it do its thing, and that yeast will just take over. And you can use natural yeast is so easy to come by. You know, a lot of people don't use it, like distilleries and things like that, because it's not. It's not dependable. You know what I'm saying? It's not 100% dependable.
Yeah.
You're not going to get the same result every time. And so, you know, say it could cause you problems. And, and when you're using natural yeast, you have to expect a much slower ferment because things are
slower ferment.
energized.
It's going to throw your flavors off just a hair too. And as a distillery, you want straight all the way across.
Yeah,
consistency.
I got a question for you, John. So you make some pretty damn good blueberry brandy, man. What landed you on blueberry? Did you try a lot of other fruits, or did you specifically think that? I mean, I'm just curious because it's damn good. I'm just letting you know that. But how did you end up on blueberry?
So I've done multiples, and it's always just an experiment, and that's what we do. It's an experiment. My favorite.
Run 100 times. You got to run 100 times to figure out what you like.
Yep. And so my favorite was, when I first started, I ran a lot of sugar starting out. And then I jumped over. I was like, man, I could do so much more. So I jumped over and I started doing that mango habanero years ago.
It's solid.
Mango habanero. I mean, I'll just be honest.
I've seen that somewhere. I don't know where though.
Yeah. I think that took first place at a festival.
I've seen that at a distillery somewhere. I'm not 100% sure where though.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've seen some other stuff coming out lately at other distilleries with the same name of my other stuff. But
my bad, Bentz. I had to jab at you a little bit there.
So
it's getting late. We've been on here a long time.
It ain't like mine. I mean, I took mine. I took Phil's, and I took Cockrell's, and lined them up on the bar down here one night, and had other firemen down here trying them, and 10-0, mine took it. Now I think Phil had some issues with his, but because I think he ran his twice.
I don't like the other one. It's too fake.
Yep. And mine, you don't get the overpowering heat from it. You get like peppercorn on your tongue.
Yeah, I don't like hot. I don't like.
But I've experimented with so much. I love brandies. That's why I went with brandy arms on all my stills.
Hold on. Whoa. When you talk about brandy arms, you know what I'm saying? You do your brandy a little differently than say I do. So let's hear you talk about how you do your brandy.
So Mr. Big Guy over there, he thumps his chest. He's got to have a thumper in there. Some guys has got to have jar rigs in there. Everybody does it different. My way's not perfect, but my way's my way.
You're damn right.
But it's your way, Bentz.
So I believe in the 45-degree arm.
So you come off the still 45 degrees straight to your worm.
Yeah. Hang on just 1 second.
I thought he was going to take his pants off. I was going to end the live.
Yeah.
You want to see 45 degrees?
Hey, but he was going to have to stand up on the chair for you to see it.
Yeah, y'all check out my Peronis. That's 45 right there, baby. I had it measured. That's what happens when you get old. You get that 45.
All right. That one here is the one built by the 10-year-old Case.
That's the 45.
Let's see. See the 45 there?
Yeah.
Now, it wouldn't be hooked to the thumper.
Right to the worm.
I would hook it straight to the worm. But I run that 45, and I go straight to the worm with it. So, all my stills are set up so I can do that.
What's the significance of the 45-degree arm?
So if you come out with a flat arm, you're going to get equal alcohol, equal flavor. If you come out with an arm going up, you're going to get higher alcohol, less flavor. Coming down, you're going to get more water molecules, and water molecules carry flavor. You'll get less proof, but you'll get more flavor.
Yeah.
So what's max proof you could run off that little guy?
But we run the same concept when we're running Liebigs. When you run this a standard pipe in a pipe, when you run a Liebig.
My 3-gallon?
Yes, same concept. Remember how I told you flat was even, up is high, down is flavor?
Yep.
Same deal with your Liebig. But go ahead and ask your question. I just want to throw that in there.
No, I appreciate that.
On this little guy, I get about a half of a pint.
All right.
about a half of a pint on that 120 or 125, that 1.5.
Yeah,
Now,
how much
what I
head you
can-
throwing off on that thing?
Now, what I can do, and I can do it on all three stills as well. And I've got another arm that'll do it. I can run a straight arm out and get my equal flavor and run my thumper, or I can twist right like that. And I got an elbow that comes up here, drops down in the thumper, and now I'm going to have high alcohol.
Okay.
You're forcing that vapor to travel
Yep,
up, so
or I can bring it down, or I can
more
put the
water
flat
comes
out.
back down. So
Okay.
That's why Wes Sandlin had posted about that one that he was building on, and I said, I don't care what, bring it over here. I don't care what type of cap you build. I love these style caps that Tracy made. But if you put that right there, that ferrule, that makes that cap so universal that you can do whatever the hell you want to do with it.
right clamp on your cap's the way to go. It definitely makes it to where you can it's just interchangeable. You're not just stuck with that one big arm. Like you said, if he wanted to, he could slap a jar on there. He can adjust that up and down. Like
You
if you're
put
having,
an inline
you're
gym
having
What I got
bag.
going
still
on with mine, I can run jar, no jar. Yeah, that's a hell of a setup. Yes.
if you're having a still build, make sure that you're make sure that you your pot will hook right up to your worm. That way you have two stills.
To
You know
me,
what I'm
it's
saying?
about being as universal as possible. I can run, 45. I can run straight out. I can run 45 up the other way. It's about being as universal. I can put a lie big,
Have you tried running that 45 to your thumper and seeing what kind of difference you get out of it running it through your thumper?
So I have on
That's
the
a
smaller
trick
still.
question.
On the 1.5, I'll do the 45 down to the thumper. It boosts the proof. It still strips a little bit of flavor. I prefer it. If I'm doing a brandy, I prefer it to go ahead and just, run straight to that worm.
And now you're only running it one time, right? You're not doing strip and run and
One
tossing it
time.
back in.
The only thing I've come to that I've ran
ask.
more than once, and that was a huge mistake. I don't really do much rum, but I started playing around. I love blueberry since we got into it, and I started doing a blueberry rum.
See, you're like me. You like that clean, nice, subtle flavor that punches you, but it's not overpowering. I really think you would like the food grade molasses a lot better than that black strap. It's not. It's
Well, I was using the what is it? The black pearl.
Yeah.
The fancy molasses.
Yeah.
$70 for 6 gallon.
You're paying too much. But
well, it was just experiments trying to play around with it. And then I found I ran it the same way I'd run a brandy. I didn't hit the thumper at all. So I ran it hot
I
to
think it needs that. You see a lot of people, they run it through the columns because the multiple distillations really helps that rum out.
It helps clean it up, bring it
gets rid
molasses
of that
down.
strong molasses, just that stanky. You know what I'm saying? Like I call it stank. It's got that stank to it. That
Actually,
I don't like.
Brought some to farm to bottle that I ran. It was that blueberry rum.
I don't remember.
But I had to run it twice to get it. I ran it and done a stripping run, and then I put my my organic blueberry juice in with the alcohol, and then ran it again as a cleanup run to get that flavor.
So you stripped it and then you tempered it down with your organic blueberry juice,
and then ran it again.
You threw it in the pot, and ran it again. Did the blueberry help tone it down, and did it come through real nice?
It brought the blueberry flavor out afterwards, and you could still get the molasses on the back. Mm-hmm. But before I did it, I mean, when I mashed in, it was 40 pounds of blueberries, 3 gallons of that molasses, and I forget how much water. I think it was 10 gallon. And hell, the blueberry was lost.
Yeah, it's when that's the thing about when you use a fruit, man. Like it'll get lost quick. Like when I got peaches, and I will take those peaches when I'm done with them, and then I'll throw them in and make a mountain brandy, split brandy, a half and half with what's left over, because I know a lot of that peaches is going to get lost to the grain, so I don't want to waste my good peaches or
Right.
fruit on the from the first run on that grain. I'm just going to reuse the slop from the previous run and let it get its little bit of, mellowed out a little bit.
Did you say peaches and grain?
Yeah, mountain brandy.
Oh, okay.
I
don't like
Oh,
peaches and grain.
Easy, you just opened the door there.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah,
we love
I
you,
think I
brother.
ran into that one time before.
When you made your mango habanero?
No, with the peaches and grain. I think I've seen that before.
You probably have. That's what's when the jar hands you. I just lie and I'm like, oh, dude, yeah. I stretch that
So-
peach.
So Sean just commented and said it mentioned me in the comment. I can't see comments. So.
Okay. He said, first he said you're his hero.
Oh, well.
I don't know. I watched a feller turn strawberry wine and corn liquor into strawberry brandy. So, Sean, you don't even belong. Get out of here. I'm blocking him.
You're about to
He
get
allowed it.
banned.
He just messes up the show.
He's gonna
but-
mess us up again.
Yeah, he will.
He's gonna get banned.
But yeah, I mean, I guess between everything, if you got to pick what I like to run better, it's always going to be brandies.
It's an art.
You ever ran a
like,
banana brandy, John?
I did, and I ran a banana rum also, and I preferred the banana brandy over the rum. Have you ever ran one?
I personally
That
want
was-
to learn because
that was
this man up here has a recipe that
That
I
was
tasted
the,
from Noble, and I would love
That
to
man.
run a banana brandy.
That man.
that was my
Put-
first.
Put the
fruit rabbit
lid
hole.
on it real tight.
No,
That's right.
no.
Leave about that much headspace. Like bring the water up
So-
that far and put the lid
so-
on real tight.
2 years ago, Mr. Noble did a banana brandy run and brought it to Easy's party, and I happened to get the last jar. And that jar sat around my house for a little while. I didn't even think about that I had it. And I opened that thing up and took a sip of it. And I actually told these guys about it. They said, "Oh yeah, that's my recipe, man. That a good banana brandy is that's a nice drink of liquor, man." So I'm intrigued
It's hard
by
to come by,
want
man.
to
Like,
learn how to make that.
it was my rabbit hole, man. Like there was a lot of failures and a lot of this is fucking terrible. And
Yeah.
why is this sour? And why is this
With
gross?
the
And-
banana,
yeah. And
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, bananas to me, peaches has always been my worst because bringing out that peach flavor.
Mhm.
But when I started into bananas, no, it's not for me.
It's sour. Like the banana smell doesn't come through. The banana, like we're so tricked.
Mhm.
Like bananas have us tricked because we're used to fake bananas. So we're like, oh, sweet banana. Like you eat
Right.
a banana, it doesn't taste like bananas. Like what you're
Banana's
used to.
a
It's
light
just
flavor.
yeah. So if
Yeah.
it takes some work to get that pumped into that mash and just to try to get it to come through to where it's not sour. Because anytime you eat banana bread, you get a chunk of banana. It's kind of sour. A cooked banana, it's going to be sour. It's just what it is. So it's definitely it's a rabbit hole that I went down for about 3 years, just messing shit up and trying this and trying that until it's finally like I think I got it. And so I'm getting ready to do another small one with the little things that I've learned from doing a lot of peaches. I'm going to incorporate to it and see if I can't make it better than because I haven't done a banana brandy in probably over 2 years.
Are you using pectin enzymes or are you freezing?
I freeze and then I still use a little bit of pectic on top, and why not?
Yeah, I don't like to
Mhm.
use the pectin enzymes if
Uh-huh.
possible because I think it throws the flavor off a little bit to me.
Like I use the Saf bread yeast. I think it gives it a nice like banana bread finish, a little nutty finish on the back end, and then there's certain things that you put in your thumper. And I use a thumper on it that you can really help. Yeah, that's right. You damn right, Bess. You damn right.
You know, that's another thing right there, man. What I think is awesome. every shiner has their own method, man.
Mhm.
Every
Yeah.
shiner.
There's no wrong way.
And
our
not
own
one
way.
of you guys will sit here and just, you didn't tell him that was wrong. You didn't tell him that was wrong. That's just your method. That's just how you like it.
Yeah, and you know, and it's like explain why. Explain why. I want to hear why.
Yeah.
Not saying I'm not down to try it or I'm not going to do it, you know, but I want to hear him tell me, and then I want to tell him what I do, and then I want to let the person that's listening over here be like, man, you know what? I'm going to try both, and I'm going to
Yep.
see which one I like the best. And I like Bentz's way the best. To me, it's more flavor. Philbilly runs like Bentz. He loves it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that straight arm, you know, straight to your worm when you're doing brandy. Like everybody does it different, and
Nobody's way is perfect. That's
right.
That's what I always
No.
try to explain. If Uncle Joey or you ask me, you know, why do you do it that way, or how do you do it? I'm like, well, this is how I do it. You know, give it a try, see what you think. If you don't like it that way, you know, incorporate your
Make it
own
your
things
own.
into it.
Right.
Yep.
If it was perfect, everybody would do it that way.
Well, and that's kind of what's cool. Like
just
being
like
down
everybody ages in oak barrels. You know what I'm saying? We all age
Yeah.
in oak barrels for the mass. Why? Because it's fucking proven. It's the way. You know what I'm saying? Like we
But, like,
try to
things-
improve on it.
But like sitting down at your birthday party that time, there were so many different people there, and I guarantee each one of them has a different method, a different
Everyone.
way, make a different liquor, you know.
Yeah.
And there's so many different variables to that, and it's really cool for somebody. I mean, I'm just coming into this, and I could take a little bit from so many different people and learn so much different shit. And I like just sitting back and listening and hearing when you guys get deep into some of your conversations. There's a lot of intelligent guys in the Shiner community, man. There really are.
It's
there's
cool
so many
when you're a
ways you
fly
can
on the
do
wall.
stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
It's
mean-
really cool to be a fly on the wall and just listen to two people speak, you know.
Or Sean, you make it and then somebody else has to rerun it to clean it up.
No, he just watches somebody else do it. But like you know, like you know, when Uncle Joey's like, "Hey, you want to go down to Paps with me?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" And I knew what was going on. You know, it's just like if I go out to Bentz's or anywhere else, we're going to talk liquor.
Yep.
We're going to waste an hour and a half talking about nothing but liquor. That you know this and that and what if and how about
You
this
mean-
and how about
You mean
that.
like when we were on our way to Gatlinburg and you stopped off and they couldn't get you out of Tiger Shine?
Yeah, oh yeah. You know, I stopped at Bruce's for the first time. I'm there for an hour and a half, and I'm like, oh, just go get some Taco Bell. Give me a little bit. Like I'm talking liquor. You know, it's what I'm going to do. You know, I can't help myself. Like we're going to talk.
That's how it is. You know, one of my stores is up Systemville, West Virginia, and I got to go right by Hatfield's going. And I'm like, first off, I know that today's going to be a rough day, so we're going to do a round of taste testing before I get to work. Then we're going to work, and depends on how rough the day is, I may stop by for another round of taste testing on the way home.
Yeah.
But I mean, man, I've done so much stuff with him. I went back there. He's got, you know, different ways he does all the char in the jars. I've helped him do that. I've helped him cut the wood for it. I've pumped mash over for him, cooked mash. So,
we got to
me,
take Uncle Joey out there. Matt, you been out there yet? You been out to Hatfields?
No.
Yeah, we got to
That's-
take both of y'all out there.
that's what it's about, though, to be able to stop somewhere. He'll take you right to the back. If you want to buy a bottle of 12-year, 12-year rye to me is his best product he has. I mean, you're going to get the burn, of course. It's 125 proof and it's 12-year rye.
That's what you're buying. You know what I'm saying? You got to know what you're buying. Like
you get to, you know, squat down and crack the bung on the barrel and fill your own jar up. And
can't beat it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's definitely an experience there. And he's like, try anything you want. And there's 50 of them. And you're like, what's up, Paul? I said, yeah, man. Well, fucking, And all of a sudden, you're like, all of a sudden, you're, you know, saying you're Sean sleeping in a chair, trying to get another one and shit. Like,
he's found, when he says, try anything you want when I walk in, he's found, I better just pour for this fella.
Not me. I'm just like, all you hear is like, so I was there with Hooch. Buddy Hoots lives right over by Charleston, and we go over.
He's
and-
over on Gay Road.
That's right. You know, it's in Gay, West Virginia. I love Hooch. So Hooch had to put down his little puppy today, his dog.
Oh, sorry, Hoots.
I just made Bentz feel like a piece of shit.
No, I got 3 pits myself.
I'm just fucking with you. So, you know, hey, we're thinking about you, Hooch, man. We love you, brother. But so we go over there and he's talking. He's like, try anything you want. All you hear out of me is the whole time. He looks over and I'm just trying all these, man. He said I can try every one. I'm running down every fucking line of these. I'm trying, except for the sipping creams. You can have your sipping creams. I don't care who you are. I'm not trying to sip.
That sounds like I need to take a trip to Hatfields.
We do,
Well,
man.
if you go on the weekends now, they have a big brick oven pizza now.
Nice.
How far
even
is that,
better.
Easy?
From here, I'm an hour and a half. I don't know what it is.
Oh,
We'll say 3.5.
All right.
That ain't bad.
You know, we leave here, we go to Point Pleasant, you know, and I rub on the Mothman. It takes 2 hours 15
Why
minutes.
would you go to Point Pleasant from there?
Because that's the fastest way for me to get to where he's at, to where Hooch is. I can go to Point Pleasant, and then he's 30 minutes south of.
Really? I would come down and I would hit my area
35.
and go up 33, and you'd hit 77, be straight highway.
I mean, I don't know. It's where we always go. It's the way the GPS takes me, Bentz. I'm not going some crazy way. I'm going to wind up in a
stay in no
deliverance
haunted
video.
house, Bentz.
That's right.
Hey, last time American Whiskey was here,
Who?
you know what they did? They stayed right out here in the distillery.
Hell yeah.
We threw some air mattresses.
That's probably because they passed out on each other.
Well, the first time they stayed up in that hotel, and it was like, bro, the bed was it was all haunted. I was like, dude, they was just really drunk. They was talking a lot of crazy shit about what happened, man. So I was I'm not staying there. I drove 45 minutes to Hooch's.
The last time I told him, I said, don't buy a room. I said, bring your damn air mattress. Stay here. There's a bathroom. You know, why pay for a place? So I set the projector up and we watched the fights out here.
Hell yeah.
And drank a little bit of liquor. Hell, I ran till 10 o'clock at night anyway. So,
Bentz, I can't wait till you open up, brother. I'm just telling you,
we're
man, it's
gonna
going to
come
be a
out
good time.
It's going to be a great time. So
Bentz, tell everybody where you're at. For all the people out there, where are you located?
yeah, because we're about done here. We've had our about here a long time.
Yeah.
well, we're southeastern Ohio. We're Middleport, Ohio is what we are. Kind of on the main drag, I guess. Used to be a nice restaurant across the road, but, you know, they closed down.
Times are tough.
Huh?
Times are tough.
Yeah. Well, he was retiring. He was ready to get out, you know. But we're the old Blue Tortan. If you look it up online, you'll see it was an old iconic bar in our area. Built in 1886.
Old bar. Like this looks like an old bar, and like you just knew it when you pull up front. It screams old bar.
Yep, it actually burnt in the 70s, and our fire station actually come in, you know, had to put it out. So it's pretty cool to me to be able to have an old bar that burnt in the 70s. I'm a firefighter. You know, this is Firehouse Shine Company, and our station had to come in and redo it. And if I climb up in the rafters, you can actually see all the charred areas to where it burnt.
Hell yeah.
So, but we're Middleport, Ohio. We 803 South 3rd Street, or South 3rd Avenue, I mean. Hopefully soon be open. We're just waiting on the state.
Well, I promise you this. It will be blasted all over my Facebook.
Yeah, we're going to let everybody know. We're going to make it happen. So have your opening on a Saturday. That's all I got to say.
Well, that's what I hope for. You know, originally I talked to Amanda, and she said if she could come, she would be here. I got a few other people that, you know, that said they would be here.
We'll be there, brother. I promise.
A lot of guys from the Master Distiller episode said they'd be here. So
everybody that can will be. Like, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
I'd like to pack it,
Oh, it'll be packed, man, guaranteed.
Our town don't have a whole lot in it. Big Easy
No.
seen when he was down here.
It don't. I was like, we gonna stop right by and get something to eat or whatnot. By it.
Well, if you would have went to the corner restaurant, you would have been impressed.
All right,
But
I didn't know that. So
you was later in the day too. Corner restaurant's open till like 3:00. So, but now they're closed up as well. He retired as well. He's in his I think 60s. So, but
somebody open up something. But so
somebody better.
Middleport's right along the Ohio River, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and that's one thing that the mayor's been working with me too. He wants to have a festival down here.
Well, and you guys need to get on that Ohio Distillers thing too, man. As soon as you open up.
Yeah, the Ohio Trail.
Yep. What's up, Santa?
So what you're right in the middle between Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, right? That's why they named it Middleport, because you're right in the middle.
Pretty much, yeah, because we was the port as they came up the river that they would port here, drop whatever, and then they go on up the river.
I read the sign coming in.
Wow.
I
thought you did some research before our episode.
I did. I had the old lady read it to me. So I was like, "What's that play?" And so
because I'm pretty sure the night that you was here, you wasn't reading.
On the way in, it's possible. So.
Possible.
All right.
We appreciate you coming on, John. Man, you're awesome, man.
We appreciate you, Ben.
Yes.
I appreciate you guys having me.
You already know. You need anything, let us know. We're always down. And I said, I guess I'll see you soon, hopefully. So
yeah, hopefully they get on the ball soon. So.
Are you going to the Hillbilly Jam? Do you have plans on going down to the Hillbilly Jam?
Unfortunately, as of right now, I don't think I'm going to Hillbilly or Popcorn.
Right.
We're going to be getting closer to opening here.
Well, if you open, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm trying to focus a lot here. I'm doing about 70, 75 hours a week right now between here, McDonald's, and the car wash, and side jobs as well. So,
hell yes,
make it happen, man.
Wow.
And once you get open, man, like you're gonna need some shit to sell first day. You're gonna have all these people there. We're gonna want liquor. You know what I'm saying? Like
we're gonna buy.
We're gonna buy.
Well, that's the thing a lot of people don't understand. Like I said, I fund this on my own. There's no silver spoon here. And nothing against the other guys. I didn't win Master Distiller. I'm just moving on, and I'm doing my thing and getting open. So
right on.
Keep chucking along, man. It'll happen, and when it does, you know what I'm saying, all your hard work, all the hours will pay off, and you'll reap the rewards when it finally happens. So, Dana, just to let you know that they postponed Beattyville. Beattyville's not happening June 14th. They'll let us know when they're going to have it. So Beattyville's been postponed. Spread the word. All the flooding and everything caused them to postpone it, and just everything that's gone down happened. So I think they're going to do it later in the year, which I'm cool with that. It won't be 400 degrees.
Oh yeah, it was bad last year.
Yeah, dude, it is. It's hotter than Satan's socks down there in summer.
Yeah,
man.
Y'all rode in air conditioning. I rode 4.5 hours on a motorcycle.
You had the wind in your face. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have chose air conditioning.
But
alrighty,
it was good.
Yeah, it was a good time. So like I said, they postponed it. As soon as we know something, we'll let everybody know, because it is definitely one of my favorite ones to go to. And then we'll be at Farm to Bottle in September. So
hell yeah, look forward to seeing everybody.
We love all y'all. Thanks, Bentz. Matt, thanks for giving us your evening, Uncle Joey. We love
Sean,
all
you're
y'all.
a piece of shit.
Sean, you're a piece of shit. And that comes from Uncle Ralph.
Get these guys a koozie.
Hey, tomorrow night, John. We'll see you tomorrow night, correct?
Oh yeah,
tomorrow night I'll be American Whiskey. We got Chris Sportner.
The Copper Coonpecker King.
Yes, Chris
Uncle
Warner
Joey won a
on
coon
American
pecker today.
Whiskey.
So y'all
lot
tune in.
of-
It's going to be a good one. I think they're going live at 7. So y'all tune in. If you can't catch that one, I believe Fred Knott's live doing his Moonshine podcast at the same time. But y'all tune in American Whiskey, man. We're gonna be in the comments. We're gonna have a good time. So we'll see y'all
Uncle Joey
tomorrow
won
night.
a coon. Uncle Joey won a coon pecker from Chris today, so I'm pumped.
Yeah, Uncle Joey loves peckers in his face. So y'all have a
Yes.
good night, and he likes what he likes. Double them up. Love 'em.